you're going into a game like this, you know there's going to be a big chunk of minutes. You're coming off a pretty good game. Do you let yourself think about maybe auditioning for a bigger role come playoff time or anything other than just what's in front of you?
I mean, for me, I just try to take it one day, one game at a time. I do my best to always stay ready, regardless of the situation, because I never know when my number is going to be called. So that's the role that I'm in right now. Obviously, tonight I played a lot of minutes. There's going to be games where I don't play at all. There's going to be games where I play, 1 or 2 minutes. And regardless of the opportunity, I just have to prepare myself the same way every game and just do what I can to come in and produce and help the team get wins.
And I trust everything you're saying in that respect, but is there a little bit more excitement in your step knowing that, there's 2 or 3 regulars are out and obviously you're going to get 20, 25 minutes versus, a smidgen of that? Like, it's got to be fun, I guess.
For you, the outside looking in, you might see it that way. But for me, first off, I had no idea that we were resting guys today until right before the game. And even so, I still don't know, what I mean, what coaches are thinking or how many minutes he thinks I'm going to play. So, like I said, answering your first question, just with whatever opportunity I get, I just try to do my best to take advantage of that.
Awesome. Great job. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Going to go next to Aaron Rose from SI.com.
You touched on it a little bit there, but I guess I wonder, does your mindset come into these games a little bit different when you might get more points or did you really come in not knowing that, or more minutes, excuse me, when you come into these games?
Yeah, like I said, I didn't know that we were resting guys until right before the game started. So, my mindset was the same coming in. Once you find out that information, you think there obviously could be a little bit more of a role or there's more minutes available. And but that doesn't change the way I play. If I play for 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 20 minutes, I'm going to go in there and be aggressive and help my shot, do my best to play team defense and know the game plan and how we're guarding guys and all that. So that doesn't change.
Before the game, it's kind of a game that doesn't really matter because you guys are clinched into your seating. But I guess, is it still a game that means something to you? Does it still matter to you guys?
100%. I mean, it's a regular season NBA game. Every time we walk on the floor, me personally, I don't take it for granted to be able to play the game I love and be healthy. And I think our team has that same view. We don't take this for granted. We're going to try to win every game, regardless of the standings, being set.
Thank you.
Next, we go to Eric Corrine from The Athletic.
Hey, Matt. Nice game, and thanks for taking the time today. I was just wondering, Nick was saying that he thinks you emerged out from the hiatus as a better player, as a more complete player. Is there anything you really feel, not necessarily that you've added to your game, but that you're more comfortable executing in an NBA game now than you were back in February or January?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before. Obviously, with the role that I have on this team right now, I wasn't playing a ton of minutes where I needed any time off. So I kind of took the hiatus and took that more as an off season and an opportunity to, better my game and better my body once, I had access to a court. But yeah, I mean, I think just with time and experience, I've gotten better and gotten better offensively, reading defenses. Obviously I play a lot off the ball, but learning how to get myself open. And then, when I get open, how to, my footwork's definitely sharper now, I think, as well. And then defensively, just, whether it be watching film, doing a lot of different defensive, footwork stuff. I feel like I'm better at that end as well. But like I said, a lot of it's just time and experience. And, when you get experience, there's no substitute for that.
It seemed like a few times you were able to get like a defender sort of on your hip when you had the ball and you were either able to get off your own shot or draw the help. And then I think you had one assist to Rondé that was sort of, or maybe he went to the free throw line. That was sort of the product of that. Is that more a rep thing or is that a body like getting stronger type thing?
I think it's all just situational, like I said, with my role on this team, I'm not necessarily handing the ball, coming off ball screens too often. But at the same time, when it all depends kind of what group of guys I'm in the game with. Obviously, if I'm in with the starters, I'm probably going to just be spacing the floor a little bit more. But if I'm in with the second unit, I think I can be a lot more aggressive. Obviously, looking to score, but then also as a playmaker. And those are things that I've done my entire life, making plays like that.
Thanks, Matt. Really appreciate it.
No doubt.
Final question goes to Vivek Jacob from Complex Canada.
Hey, Matt, you kind of touched on this a little bit, but your shots always seem to come within the flow of the offense. There's nothing forced. Even today, when people were taking you off the three-point line, you were able to step inside and take the mid-range, or you just keep the ball moving. What has that sort of process been like for you? Have you always been that way, or has that been something that you had to develop over time?
I feel like I've always had a pretty good basketball IQ. I've been watching basketball my whole life. I love it. And having said that, I feel like I make the right basketball read and play most of the time. Actually, at times in my past and even this season, it hurts me because I am such a good shooter, and at times I pass up shots to maybe make an extra pass. A guy like myself can't afford to do that. I need to really hump my shot and be aggressive. But it's kind of second nature. I want to play the right way. I love getting my teammates involved. That's what basketball is all about, and that's the most fun part of it for me. And I feel like as a team, you play your best when everyone's out there making the right plays.
And I'm just curious about bubble life in general. Shooters are big on routine. Have you been able to, set everything the way you wanted to and establish, your routine?
Yeah, I mean, the league's done an incredible job at putting this all together. Me personally, I've enjoyed the time so far. I definitely can have my routine, my room set up, the way I need it. The only thing that's tough is obviously the game time's always changing, and then it obviously changes what time you can get to bed and what times you're eating your meals. But that's just something that every player in here is going to have to face. But for the most part, I've been able to find a very good routine that works for me.
And last one for you, Matt. Kyle Korver is one of the best-known shooters in the league. You guys had that little back and forth with the threes. What was that like for you to, almost be matching him shot for shot for a little bit there?
Yeah, it's pretty cool to be on the court with him. He's a guy that I've watched a lot of film on growing up, and he's a player that I have a ton of respect for. For him doing what he's doing still at his age is incredible. Like I said, just a ton of respect for him.
Thank you, Matt.